Hello again. So this time I'm sharing a TN size. It's a bit bigger than a TN. It's 8.5. It's 8.5 by 4.5. I haven't made one of these for a while. I went back to the slightly bigger size, but these are a favourite really of mine and quite popular. So this one has got some dangles, lots of fluff. It's quite chunky, as you'll see. It's made from Stamperia card for the cover and a fabric spine. It's quite stiff. I think there's some Tyvek down the middle there as well. And it's also quite chunky. Okay, so let's have a look inside. Yeah, it's a bit stiff, this one. I think it's a double layer. I usually do a double layer of card. So yes, it would be a double layer. So the first page here, I've got a nice pocket there. The first page here is a little envelope from 1957. And in there, well, you can do this both ways, but I'll do it from this side. In there is a tag made from some vintage papers. This is some chapter 1 digital and a vintage photograph. I think I had it that way around to show pretty colours here. And then there's a little vintage document from 1955. This is a pocket made from a scrap of, it's from a calendar, a vintage photograph from a calendar, and there's a little dangle there that I've made. It's Flower Fairy with some glossy accents over. And in the pocket there's a 1937 receipt. Because this journal is so full, it's a little bit tight getting that in there, but it should slide in fairly neatly. On this side, a pocket made from a postcard with some ruffle. This is some old pattern making graph paper. Somebody's started to draw a pattern on there, and this is a tag that I've made with a fussy cut over some card. That's in there. This page has got a Flower Fairy dangle. Oops, that's just come off. I will reattach that. It's probably not closed up. I probably haven't closed the jump ring. On this side there's a library card and photograph here of Ruth. I'm calling this journal Ruth, and it's Ruth with her little dog there. I've made it up, I don't know her real name. This is a journal card made from an old computer card, and then there's part of a vintage receipt and one of those domino cards in there. So all the pinks. There's a dangle here, and on this side I have got I think that might be, it says 1868. I'm not sure whether that's a real, I think I bought it as real, but I'm not sure it is a real document. To make up your own mind about that. It's a bit of stenciling. On this side I have got pinned in here, this is a page from 1877 Victorian album. I've added this cutout here just to decorate it. It's like a scrapbook that was badly damaged, and I've taken the pages out. And then there's a book page called The Treasures of the Snow in underneath. It's often easier if you pop these together just to put them back in. And that turns in nicely with this Flower Fairy page. I've got an envelope over here, which I'll show you now. nothing in that envelope. Edith Holden, and a little vintage cigarette card here in photograph style of some English setter puppies. This is piano roll paper. This is a pocket that I've used eyelets in to set the pocket. And I think this is around the 1950s, this document. It's written in French again. And this is from 1937. There's a snippet at the top of this 1937 document. In here, this is from an old encyclopedia. Sheep and goats. This is from 1925, and that's just a little botanical illustration that I backed onto tea-dyed paper. This is from a calendar. Some lace on that page, another snippet and a dangle here in a 1932 document, a Flower Fairy tag. This is not old, that's a printable. In the middle I've got some glass beads which could fall out the top if you prefer. This folds out, and here I have got a diary page from the 1920s. This is a vellum pocket and a little vintage photograph. This is a book page. A little bit tight there as well, and a cigarette card tag. There's a dangle and a stencil there. In here I've popped an envelope from, hard to see, could be 1917. It's really quite old, that one, I think. And a little vintage Christmas card. In this pocket, a little Flower Fairy here. This is from school book, French school book. This is that topography sort of road book that I've got. It tells you that from Brighton to Horsham and Guildford there's a good undulating road without any difficult or dangerous hills. I quite like that way of describing a journey. Should do it now. And a postcard from, can't see, 1934 maybe, or 24. There's another dangle. Another envelope from 1957. And then a pocket here made from a wages envelope. So in the back I have got a French sewing page. And in the front it's a Beatrix Potter illustration over tea-dyed paper. So yeah, it's not going in very well. Here we go. Flower Fairy page. This is from, don't know when, somebody's cut the stamp off that one, 1931. and that's some vintage ledger as well. I can't remember the date on this one. 1937. Use Tracy Fox labels throughout most of my journals. I do that. This is a little scrappy tag. This really is quite full, this journal. Nice vintage photograph. And another dangle. And a little snippet on the back page. So that's Ruth. She'll be in the Etsy shop once this video's up. Thank you. Bye bye.